Hello my castaways, and welcome back to another Stranded Deep speedrun. Wow guys, I have an absolutely incredible run to show you today. So a lot of people have been asking for the glitchless speedrun, and I will be doing one soon, but you can probably tell by the length of this video that this is not that. So we are back for another glitches allowed, fixed seed, normal difficulty speedrun. Now the reason for that is because if someone beats my record, I can't just let that go. And if you've been following Stranded Deep speedruns, you probably know I'm talking about a Gork. So a Gork is my friendly nemesis in the world of Stranded Deep, and if you don't know who he is, go check out his channel. He's a great speedrunner. He's given me a run for my money plenty of times. And he has helpful tips and how-tos on Stranded Deep, as well as some funny stuff on there too. So not only did he beat my time, he did it by playing the same seed as my world record, and I obviously can't just let that stand. So I'm proud to say that I've come back very strong with a new strategy that has shed nearly 20% of the total time off the record. Now, considering we cut the speedrun time from like 4 hours to under 45 minutes, I think that much of a drop at this point is downright staggering. So, I've employed a new strategy that seems so obvious, I really kind of feel stupid for not realizing it earlier. And I've said a long time that a 35-minute run is possible, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is that run. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, here's our new world. I found it before I came up with this new strategy, so it's still not the ideal setup, but all the pertinent islands and bosses are in such a tight cluster, I figured it could work. So our basic plan is to skip all the bosses for the first day and focus on getting our potatoes, supplies, and getting the fuel distilled by the time we wake up on day 2. Now, that might sound simple, but it is like downright hectic. So keep in mind that in order to make our stills, we need to have 3 jerry cans and 4 plank scrap that we have to search through the wrecks for, emptying out the junk in the crates as we go and refilling them with what we collect for the stills and everything else too. We also need to find a bare minimum of 2 leather so that we can make a pickaxe to collect the clay, which we'll need for the stills as well. Now we need to collect that clay before nightfall so that we can actually find the clay nodes in the water, and on top of that, we also need enough sticks and rocks to make the campfires, the fire rings that go around them, the frame for the fuel stills, and the kindling to light them. Now hang on, we aren't done yet. We also need at least 4 lashings for the stills, 1 lashing for the axe, and 1 lashing for the shelter to sleep through the distillation. Now hang on, we can't just go throwing these things together. We also need the know-how, aka level 5 crafting, to even make them. Now you may just be thinking, chill out, we'll just go make some spears that we're going to need for Luckier later, but we don't have enough time to just go doing that for our crafting levels. We need to get every single ounce of crafting experience possible out of every action to be able to get the fuel distilled by morning. So on top of doing everything else I just said, we also need to collect 40 fiber sleeves for 10 lashings, and then use those lashings with 10 coconuts to make 10 coconut flasks that we'll need for more crafting XP and we'll use as our water to escape. And since we have to get 10 coconuts for those, we'll go ahead and grab 5 more for our food to escape as well. So, guys, keeping up? So, that still won't be enough crafting XP. We will need to make a box or 2 of spears as well, craft the campfires and rings, and even the kindling to light the stills ahead of that level for more efficient XP. That still won't be enough. Now, practicing this method, my answer was just to make more spears that I didn't need, but it required more time for chopping wood, and it just wasn't efficient enough. So, that's why this entire time I'm going to be running around just turning stones into tooltips to fill that gap in so I can get the crafting XP to get that still made by nightfall. It's quite a process. Now, I hadn't actually paid attention to this until Gork pointed it out, but it is a fixed 15 minutes for the first day from when you spawn in until the first night. So I have only 15 minutes to get this stuff together, get to the island, get the potatoes, and, well, I mean everything I just said. So, yeah, it's a bit of a race, but then again, we are doing speedruns, so what do you expect? Of course, the slowest part of this entire process, like every time I've done a practice run or failed run on doing it this method, is just getting all this crap out of the crates. It takes forever. I would love it if Beam Team would fix the patch that they made, which made it impossible for you to drop things out of your inventory. You have to hold them in your hand and then drop them. It slows me down probably a full minute or 2 just getting everything out of these crates. It's pretty annoying. I've complained about it probably every time I've done a speedrun since they changed it, but I'm sure they will change it back. Alright, so I have a basic crate strategy that I've been employing for the last couple runs. It's just to have a crate for gas, which is, the things that I can't make. It's all the planks, the leather, the potatoes, the jerry cans, all that stuff that I just have to collect up. And then gas 2, which will be my stones and lashings. And I don't collect up a palm tree, like a log and a palm, to make a shelter at the end of this island string, but that was what I had planned that space to be. So I'll probably just be smashing more lashings in there to make coconut flasks and stuff. So I'm getting up my my rocks, and then after I get these 6, any rock that I pass, I'm going to be turning into a stone tooltip. I haven't calculated exactly how many of these I need to fill that gap of crafting XP I was talking about, but it's probably somewhere in like the 10 to 15 mark. So not a terrible amount, and if I just stop really quickly while I'm zipping around the map, then I can do that really, really fast. Oh, I was talking about my crates. Besides the gas crates, I have a crate for sticks, a crate for the food, which nicely fits all of the coconut flasks, and a couple extra coconuts for extra food if you need it in it. And then one of my crates is for just the stuff that I collect, like or the stuff that I have when I start off with, like bandages, compasses, and some light sources. And then, let's see, what else do I have? I think that's all. Oh, and then crates for spears, of course. Now, the reason I'm not making an axe right away on this island is because I know that there is a refined axe on the next island, so while it is crafting XP that I could get, I'm not going to make it. I don't think it actually matters what you make, it's just how many things you make. That would probably be something for me to look into. But, so I figured it would probably be better to save the lashing for the axe and just make more stone tooltips. There's a whole lot of double coconuts on this island, so I wanted to just go ahead and get those out of the way so I don't have to think about it later. I don't know if I get all of them on this first island, but I get most of them. Make sure I set aside my 4 lashings for the gas before I make any flasks, because if I'm caught without those, then I'll have to wander around at dark to make more lashings. Alright, and we're off to the second island. So when I'm coming in, or rather, when I'm scouting these islands out, I try to note where I find these potatoes, so that I have like pretty much a basic incoming trajectory coming from the last island. So I just like note where the potatoes are based off of that incoming trajectory. Yeah. And the survivor shelter on this was, when I found this seed, I guess I just forgot about them. I just don't expect to find survivor shelters in speedruns anymore. They're so rare. But man, they are an awesome help with this refined axe. That's sweet. I would be happy with the one that has, I think there's a couple actually that have the refined spears in them. That would be great. The lashings is wonderful, but really just having more crates. I think there's like one survivor shelter that has 3 crates instead of 2. So maybe in the future, if we can find get really lucky and have these have survivor shelters on 2 of the 3 islands that we need to visit, maybe we can knock this time down to under 30 minutes. Before in the past, I've said, I've been very adamant about being like, oh, we can get under 40 minutes, we can get under an hour, we can get under 35 minutes. Now, I don't know how easy it's going to be to get under 30 minutes. That's going to be optimizing boss fights and, like I said, getting lucky with survivor shelters, jerry cans, and a really optimal seed world. Yeah, it just takes so much. Well, there. Yeah, that was a wasted lashing with that bow. But it just takes so much less time to craft these little stone tooltips instead of, chopping down logs or even just crafting lashings, which take almost no time to collect. But still. Now I'm glad I crafted those 2 stone tooltips because that reminded me that I needed to make a pickaxe. That's one of the things that in the handful of times I've tried this method, on this seed or not, that's one of the things I forget a lot is getting the clay. It's just something I don't know why. I just struggle to remember it every time. Now, I really hate how I watch how you can see the shadows moving. That gives me such anxiety when I'm doing these speed runs because it's just time ticking right in front of my eyes. Look at those. Look at those shadows move. Oh, terrible. All right, and we had the level right there to be able to make our pickaxe. Thankfully, I find a clay node pretty quick here. Yeah, right there. It's not in the best spot, but I'm not going to go looking for another one, that's for sure. That should be all the lashings I need for the still and most that I need for the coconut flasks. So if you're keeping count, I'll still need 5 more lashings to be able to make my shelter and the rest of the coconut flasks. And there is our ending ship. Oh, that's right. I started going off to the wrong island. I had a bit of trouble with that on this run, just because I was like I said, it's very hectic doing all this by the first night. So I was struggling a lot to be able to get everything done, and it was really stressing me out. So I was kind of taking some liberties, literally cutting corners on checking my direction, and ooh, that was a nice landing. And it almost got me lost a couple of times. In fact, I almost didn't even make this time. I almost didn't even complete this run because at the very end, I went zipping off in what I thought was the right direction. I completely got lost, but then I just happened to find my way. It was very lucky. So you'll notice when I jumped off of that kind of high wreck, it actually hurt me. But that's one of the quirks of this speed walking and swim jumping kind of thing. I'm sure you've noticed that I've swam and jumped out of the water and reached some really incredible heights, but I didn't take any fall damage. I'm pretty sure that the game just registers your height as right above the water when you do that, so you can go anywhere you want doing that. But if you speed walk off of a tall surface like a palm tree, or you end up on one of the big rocks on the middle rocks on the big islands that have cliffs everywhere, and you speed walk off of that on the land, that will kill you or hurt you like it did just there. So, interesting little quirk. Very handy for getting onto the ending ship. And yeah, I'll take some free hunter levels here, Mr. Crab. That's cool. Speaking of hunter levels, one of the ways that this world could have been more ideal was if the boss location for Luska and Meg were switched. So if you remember our speedrun map, Meg was the boss location that was just north of our starting island, and I really would have preferred Luska to have been there, because if he is our last boss, then we get more hunter levels from the Avia and Meg, which are arguably way easier bosses. And with more hunter levels, we do more damage for every spear that we toss at Luska. So, pretty good. And this other crab doesn't want to leave me alone. So I made a little bit of a mistake. I didn't collect all the sticks as early as I wanted, but this is also an island that has ficus on it, so it didn't really matter. Yeah, I figured I could just run around and get them. Are there 3 crabs on this island? Or did I kill one on the previous island? I think there's a potato like hiding in a bush on this island. I'm not missing any more potatoes after the last one, man. That was a mistake I'm not gonna make again. And I say that, and I probably will, but you won't see it, so. So I'm starting to get a little nervous at this point in the run because, as you can tell, it's getting dark, and I still don't have all the stuff I need or the crafting levels I need. Now, I'm pretty certain at this point in my head while I'm playing the run that I've crafted enough stone tooltips to bridge that gap, but I don't actually know because, like I said earlier, I never did the math to find out how many stone tooltips I needed to make that difference. And that was the last coconut flask we needed for food. And so I'm heading off into the island to try and make up some more spears, which is ultimately good because I will need those for Luska. Just checking that crafting level, and of course I still don't have it yet. I don't know why I kept on walking past that one like 4-stick ficus over there. That would have made sense to just use that one, but hey, whatever. There we go. We're ready to go. And I figured I'd grab these up for more spears because I probably won't have enough. I guess I thought having a few extra sticks for spears was a good idea. Oh no, I needed them for the still because I didn't collect enough sticks earlier. That's why. daylight, and we are off to the races. So this is where the run really gets exciting for me, at least, because it's all just speed walking, getting to the bosses, killing them as fast as possible, and then getting the hell out of here as fast as possible too. I think I still need to make my shelter, and that is the last thing that I'll have to do before just killing the bosses. Just chuck them. Who needs them, man? We are superhuman. We can throw these things like hundreds of meters. And I am futilely looking around in the center of the island for palm saplings, because that's a great idea. I mean, they do show up there, but I should be walking around. Oh, that's right. We had extra yucca trees. That's what I was thinking. Okay. And we need to find a nice short palm so we don't have to chop a whole bunch of logs off of it to make our shelter. And luckily, even though that palm tree was embedded in that bush, it didn't, like, you know, fly off into space like they like to do sometimes. And that is fuel by the first or second morning, guys. I think that's the first time anybody's ever done that. I would say that should be a speed run in and of itself, but I don't really want to do this if I don't have to do it for a speed run. It is very stressful. Alright, we're ready to go. Now, I gotta backtrack to our starting island so that I can go to Luska and the Abia, then go off to Meg, and then basically come right back here so I can go to our ending ship. So that's one of the ways this world could have been better, is if I had the 3 islands with potatoes and all the supplies I needed first, and then I could just sleep and then go, instead of backtracking, go further onto the 3 bosses in the ending ship. I would love it if we just had all of those things in one straight line, or like, you know, kind of a zigzag or something, or even a crescent around our starting island. That's the kind of world I'm looking for. So if you guys find a world that looks like that, please let me know, because I have rolled probably well over 1,500 world seeds looking for that one world, and I have yet to find it. We really woke up at like the perfect time to get this done, all in the daylight, because the sun was just coming up. I mean, honestly, if we had woken up at 5:30 or like 4:30 when it was still dark, we had a couple minutes for the sun to come up before we got back to the starting island, so it would have been okay. But having it full daylight, so I don't even have to mess around with anything else, that is perfect. Just gonna chop this guy up with our axe. We're saving all those spears for Luska, because you can't just chase him down with an axe. You either chase him off of his boss location and then he respawns at full health, or he gets you to death. One of the things I would have liked to have had on this run was an air can. I don't think I even found one in the beginning, or if I did, I threw it out. It would have been helpful, but I don't think it would have just made me more comfortable. It wouldn't have actually saved me that much time. Maybe a little bit on Luska, but not so much for maybe or anything. Getting my method down of trying to go too fast, and Gork has talked about this too with the speed walking. It is so easy to go faster than the bosses. It's very, very hard to match their speed. It's just one of the quirks of speed walking. Very difficult to do, but if I can nail that for both Avia and the Meg, I can probably drop my boss time drastically. In fact, if I can do that just right, that might even be a world record boss kill time too, which would be cool. Yeah. I think the world record for most of the bosses sits around like 30, 35, maybe like under 30 for Meg, around 30 for Avia, and then I want to say like 45 or 40 for Luska. Seconds? Yeah. It's me. I did it. Yeah. Get out of here, great. So, I did a new kind of trick this time with the crates as well. I realized that you could just drop the crates, and I mean, I've realized this for a while, I just never thought to actually do this boss. But you can just drop the crates and really quickly access them and pull everything out of them, so you don't have to go up to the surface. One of the reasons I would love to have had a jerrycan, and I wouldn't have to screw with that, but whatever, it is what it is. Now, I think right about now is when I'm realizing that I did not restore my food and water. So I'm like completely dehydrated or something right now. So I need to go heal my or get my food and water back up. So if he does bite me, I can heal myself. Because right now, if he starts attacking me, there's no healing that will happen in the middle of the fight to maybe save my life. Which happens several times. I do love that swim jumping for this reason. I can get a full breath and kind of just have like a second or two of respite from the boss. I don't have to mess around with, trying to swim and not get hit like that exact thing. So I have to be standing, I can't be swimming to eat that ration. Oh, I guess it still counted it. That was actually a bit risky. That crate had my fuel in it, so if I had dropped that or it had fallen off in the couple seconds where I had it up there, I would have had to go down into the bottom of the ocean and get it. And it doesn't always work. It's very hard to find things down there. So I wish I'd had more spears, so I could have just kept on safely chucking them at him, but I've also been practicing killing him with an axe, or at least doing some of the damage with an axe. It's difficult, but you can usually avoid getting hit by him if, like, when you're kind of closing in on him, you turn right as you go to hit him, and then I think he's just not fast enough to, like, hit you with his tentacle. Like, he goes to hit you and you're already gone, which wouldn't happen if you weren't speed walking. You would definitely get hit. I would have liked to have killed Luska a whole lot faster, but just didn't work out that way. It's okay. I was just happy to complete this run, especially with such an incredible time. Cool 3-minute Lucy kill. It's not the best, but hey, got the job done. Woo! Coming in hot. I've always wanted to kill Meg while she's jumping through the air, like she does sometimes to like bite you. I wonder if she would stop or if she would continue into the water. I didn't do it, but something to think about. if you can kind of get inside, oh god, that sounds terrible. If you can kind of get inside of the Meg's like sprite, so you can see, through her, she will kind of do this thing where she tries to turn to get you, and she'll kind of circle you. So that's what I've been trying to do, so that I can just keep on hitting her nonstop. All right, now we're done. Now we've gotten all the boss kills, we just gotta go find the ending ship island. And, man, I almost got lost here, like I said earlier. I was trying to go straight through the islands instead of going to one island and the other just to save like a couple seconds, and it almost ended up costing me the entire run. Yeah, see, I just got slowed down because I was like, wait, is that where I need to go? I'm getting myself mixed up between finding out where I am in the world and looking at my notes to see where I need to go next. Like, I can't figure out which one was the island I'm on now. So, God, it's so stressful. Yeah. Now, we can't actually get up to the plane until this ending ramp renders in. If you try and speed walk and jump on top, you'll just fall right through. You don't hurt yourself, like always with speed walking, but yeah, you just fall right through it, then you have to go up again. There we go. All right. I absolutely love doing this. It's always so fun. It's the perfect way to end a speedrun too, because it just looks so badass. Stairs? Who needs them? I think even still now, I was like wondering what is going to screw up, because I just cannot believe that I'm here at this time. So all we gotta do now is pop this stuff into these crates and make our parts for the plane and get out of here, and that's the run. Now, I still really wish that Beam Team would put in like a quick crafting for the parts of the in-plane. It's really just a convenience thing. It's not going to save me that much time, maybe like a second or two. Maybe on the next couple speed runs that me and Agork battle back and forth through, I will feel differently about that second or two. But for now, it's, like I said, just a matter of convenience. Not that you shouldn't be listening, Beam Team. Alright, it's done. Let's go. Let's get home. Yeah, I'm nodding. I'm happy. Doing it. Potato fueled plane. that's it. Last interactable action in the game. Yeah. Going home. Not in like a loon. Beautiful day to escape. Yeah, Gork didn't win this one, Mr. Ducky. He did not. I got him here. So, going forward, I am finally going to be doing the glitchless run. It's going to take a lot longer, and it's going to be a lot more difficult since I don't have glitches to fall back on. But I'll be doing that one next, and I am planning on doing the random world seed run after that. That one might take me a lot longer to put out because I just don't know what I'm going to get. And if it's taking me like a ridiculous amount of time, I'll probably just like nix the run and start over. I did one practice random seed run like a couple weeks ago, and I ended up with 2 of the boss locations and the ending ship right next to my center island. So I'm thinking that was probably my one chance to actually do that, but probably not gonna work out that well in the future. All right, this is the end. So, as you can probably tell, I didn't make the 35-minute mark, but that's 35 minutes and 11 seconds. That's pretty damn close, so I am very happy with it. If you guys enjoyed that, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I will see you again in the future for another Stranded Deep speedrun. Keep on surviving, guys.